if I hadn't recognized my own handwriting. I would have thought it was a cruel joke, but it was mine. Definitely mine. Same crooked lines. The same double T's I always used as a kid. The only problem? I never wrote that letter. It came in a plain white envelope. No stamp. Just sitting in my new mailbox. The address was mine. My current one. And on the front, in handwriting that looked way too familiar. To me from me. I opened it. And my throat went dry. I remembered this page. I wrote it when I was 12. It was an exercise my therapist gave me. Write a letter to your future self, she said. Ask how he's doing. What he's become. What he's learned. I remember sealing it. Putting it in a box. Leaving it in the closet of my old room. And then forgetting about it completely. But now, that same letter was in my hands. Only this time someone had written back. Same page. Different ink. But the handwriting? It was mine. Current me. You're alive, but you feel lost. You have a place to live, but it's empty. You remember too much, but not what matters. I'm still here, and I'm waiting for you to come back. I read it 3 times. Then a 4th. Then I panicked. I dug through old journals. Sketchbooks. Notes I'd written in high school. Compared letters. Shapes. Pressure on the paper. It was me. It was absolutely me. But I didn't write this. I called my mom. Asked if she'd touched any of my old stuff. The box. My letters. She said no. Everything's still where I left it. The house was empty. So I drove back. Just to see. Back around the old fence. Past the yard where I used to play. And that's when I saw it. The light in my old bedroom was on. And someone was sitting at my desk. I stood across the street from my old house. For almost an hour. First by the gate. Then under a tree, pretending not to watch. But I was watching. Staring at the second window from the left. My old room. The light was still on. The desk was there. My desk. And someone was sitting at it. Still. Focused. I couldn't see the face. But I could tell. He looked like he belonged there. I thought about getting closer. Knocking. Saying something. But my legs just wouldn't move. It felt like I wasn't looking at a person. More like I was watching a memory play out in real time. Like I was already too late. A few days later. Another letter came. This time with a real stamp. And a return address. Mine. From the house I hadn't lived in for over 6 months. I didn't open it right away. Just stared at it on the table. Then, finally, I unfolded the page. You started forgetting because you left too early. Some things don't stay buried. Some things remember you. You left me. But I never left. How many more signs do you need? On the back was a sketch. Pencil. A bit smudged. It was the bathroom from my old house. Except in the drawing. The mirror had tape all over it from the inside. Like someone was trying to stay hidden. Or keep something in. I didn't sleep that night. I went through every journal. Every folder. Every old note. Looking for anything that could explain this. I found nothing. The next day there was another envelope. No note. Just a photo. A Polaroid. My desk again. Same one I saw through the window. On it, a blank page. A pen. And at the bottom scribbled in my own handwriting. Write? While you still know how to speak to yourself. I didn't write back. Not because I didn't want to, but because I had no idea what to say. How do you start a letter to yourself? Hey, it's me. Only not really? Which one of us is dreaming this? I left the Polaroid on the fridge and tried to pretend none of it had happened. That lasted one night. The next morning, I opened the mailbox, and there was another envelope. Inside, you're silent. That means you're afraid. But you've always been afraid, haven't you? Do you remember the basement? The thunderstorm? How you hid there for an hour? I remember. Because I was there too. I stayed. I dropped the letter. The basement. That was over 20 years ago. I was 7. A storm had knocked out the lights, and I hid in the basement behind an old couch. My mom couldn't find me for what felt like hours. And I swear, I wasn't alone down there. At the time, I chalked it up to fear, imagination. But this letter, it described the layout of the basement, the smell, the broken bulb on the 3rd step, Details no one else could have known. I went back to the house again. It looked the same, a little more overgrown. Empty. No light in the window. I knocked on the door. Nothing. I tried the handle locked. Same as last time. The mailbox was still crooked. Still empty. But I knew someone was in there. That night, another envelope appeared. No writing this time. Just a USB drive. I plugged it in. There was one audio file. And the second I hit play, I heard my voice. But not quite. It was my voice, but calmer. Older, maybe. More certain. Like it had already lived through everything I was still scared to face. You think you left. But something always stays. You left me. But I found a way to speak. And now, I remember more than you do. I played the recording 10 times. The voice. It was definitely mine. Same rhythm. Same breathing. Even the way I pause mid-sentence, just like I always do. But what it said, that wasn't me. Not the me I am now. It talked about things that hadn't happened yet. You'll drop a mug in the kitchen tomorrow. You'll tear the corner off the photo of your father. You'll find it and you won't remember when it was taken. I stopped the recording right there. The photo. I had a box of old family pictures. Hadn't opened it in over a year. I dug it out from the closet, hands shaking. And there it was. A photo of me and Dad. By the lake. I must have been 14. And the top right corner? Torn clean off. It wasn't ripped or bent. It was clean, like someone had peeled it off carefully. Deliberately. I don't remember doing that. I don't even remember taking that photo. But on the back, written in my own handwriting, we were closer than you think. That's when something shifted inside me. Not fear. Something deeper. Like part of my own memory didn't belong to me anymore. Like it had been replaced or borrowed. And then, one more letter arrived. A single sheet of paper. Just 3 lines. You won't be able to stop this. Because I'm not the enemy. I'm the backup plan. I did the one thing I swore I wouldn't do. I went back inside. I knew the house was still listed as empty. No one was supposed to be living there. But the back door, the one off the kitchen, it always had a broken lock. I came late at night. Put up. Flashlight in hand. Like I was about to rob my own past. The moment I stepped inside. It wasn't cold. It wasn't dusty. It wasn't empty. It smelled like tea. Warm air. A room that had just been lived in. It felt like I had missed myself by 5 minutes. Everything looked almost the same. Except my old room. There were things in there. My desk. Not a replica of my actual desk. On top, a notebook. Open. I stepped closer. The handwriting? Mine. But not childhood me. Now me. The date written at the top? Tomorrow. And below that. You open the door. You've already made your choice. You just don't realize how many times you've made it. I spun around, heart pounding. And I saw him. Standing by the mirror. Wearing what I wore. Same posture. Same face. But calmer. Still. Content. Like he'd been waiting for me to arrive. I didn't speak. I couldn't. He stepped closer. And said, "You still think you were the only one in this body?" I don't remember how I left the house. I just remember standing outside in the rain. Soaking wet. Shaking. At some point, a cab stopped. The driver asked if I was okay. I said yeah. And I didn't even recognize my own voice. Since that night, no more letters have come. I thought maybe that was it. The loop broken. The connection cut. I hadn't written back. I hadn't stayed. I chose to be me. But last week, I woke up to a sound. A soft thud. I walked into the kitchen. And on the floor was a crumpled piece of paper. Old. Yellowed. Dry. Like it had been folded and unfolded 100 times. I opened it. It was a letter. Written in a child's handwriting. Mine. If you're reading this, it means you did everything right. It means you came back. We're the same memory, just from different sides. I've always been here. Thank you for giving me a voice. Now when you go quiet, I'll keep speaking. On the back was my name. And next to it another one. Identical handwriting. But reversed. Tilted. Like a mirror version. Underneath, a line of tiny print. Version 7. Last stable. I haven't gotten a letter since. But sometimes, I wake up and find a new entry in my notebook, written in handwriting that isn't mine. And somehow I always understand exactly what it means. Because I'm him. Only this time, I'm on the outside.